You thought the 22 long rifle was just for backyard, tin can wars, and new shooters? Time to reset that mindset. In 2025, rimfire has leveled up in a big way. What was once considered a starter cartridge has now become a hotbed of ballistic innovation. Modern 22 long rifle offerings are faster, quieter, more specialized, and far more effective than ever before. Whether you're talking about match-tuned subsonics, revolver-optimized loads, or rounds pushing the limits of velocity and expansion, this is not your granddad's rimfire. This is the next generation. In today's video, we're taking a deep dive into the wildest 22 long rifle ammo you can find this year. Whether you're running a suppressed bolt action, a tricked-out semi-automatic, a lever gun, or even a rimfire wheel gun, there's a fresh load out there tailored to your setup. We'll cover the latest from heavy hitters like Federal, Remington, CCI, Norma, and Aguila. You'll see performance data, practical field results, and figure out which rounds are worth stacking deep and which might just change how you see rimfire for good. So grab a few mags and let's get into it. It's time to see which 22 loads made the madness list for 2025. Let's kick things off with a load that proves you don't need to spend big bucks to get serious performance. Aguila's Super Extra Hollow point has been on the shelves for years, but the 2025 upgrade brings real improvements that push it into must-have territory, especially if you're hunting on a budget. So what's new? Aguila completely redesigned the hollow point using what they now call progressive expansion tech. Sounds like marketing fluff, but it actually works. This 38-grain copper-plated hollow point now features a stepped cavity profile that opens up more reliably, even at standard rimfire velocities. That's a big deal, since most rimfire hollow points have struggled to balance penetration with expansion. They either mushroom too quickly and stop short, or fail to expand at all. This one walks the line. Expect about 0.36 inches of expansion and 9 to 10 inches of penetration in gel, perfect for small game like rabbits, squirrels, or even raccoons. You get ethical kills without blowing through the target or ruining meat. And it's not just about the projectile. Aguila also upgraded their Surefire primer system. It now boasts ignition success rates above 99%, which is a welcome change for those of us tired of rimfire misfires. They also sealed both the primer pocket and case mouth for added moisture resistance, making this a smart pick for ammo left in backpacks or truck boxes. It runs well in most semi-autos, though a few picky guns may prefer a round nose design. Accuracy? Respectable. Not precision match level, but definitely good enough to pop squirrels at 50 yards and beyond. Price-wise, you're looking at around $6.99 for 50 rounds, or even less when buying bulk 500-round bricks. That's hard to beat for a round that performs this well. Any drawbacks? The copper plating is a little thin, so you might notice more fouling in suppressors or with extended use. And while it shoots well, it's not going to replace your match loads, but it was never meant to. This is a working man's hunting round, and in that role, it excels. If you're after an affordable, consistent hollow point that puts in the work, Aguila's upgraded Super Extra deserves a spot in your ammo can. Now, suppressed shooters, this one's for you. If you've ever shot standard Subsonic 22 long rifle and thought, could be quieter, you're not alone. CCI clearly heard us, because they've released a round that's purpose-built for stealth, Suppressor Max. And folks, it is freakishly quiet. This cartridge was built from the primer up to deliver the lowest sound signature possible, and CCI nailed it. The 45-grain round nose leaves the barrel at just 950 feet per second, staying well under the sound barrier and avoiding that telltale sonic crack. But speed is just one part of the equation. CCI engineered a new primer that produces about 15% less ignition pop, less pressure, less noise before the round even exits the muzzle. The casing itself is specially designed with internal features that help dampen gas release, kind of like a mini suppressor built into the cartridge. In testing, this round registered an average of 113.2 decibels at the muzzle. That's 3.4 decibels quieter than its closest competitor, and nearly 7 decibels quieter than standard subsonics. If you know your sound physics, that's a huge drop, nearly half the perceived volume. This makes Suppressor Max perfect for backyard target practice, late-night pest control, or discreet varmint hunting, and the projectile isn't just soft lead. CCI developed a hardened alloy called Sub-X with added antimony for improved barrel integrity and better accuracy. Then they added a low-friction polymer coating to reduce fouling and keep your suppressor running cleaner longer. It's cycled reliably in most semi-automatics, rare for subsonics. Only a few older guns with stiff springs had hiccups. Accuracy? Sub-minute of angle at 50 yards. That's tack-driving precision. The trade-off? Premium price around $12.99 per box of 50. Also, only one bullet profile. For now, no hollow point. But if absolute quiet is your priority, nothing else comes close. Let's talk speed. CCI's Clean 22 hypervelocity doesn't ease into the future, it blasts through it. This round proves that rimfire doesn't have to be slow, dirty, or boring. If you've ever wished your .22 long rifle had just a bit more punch, more reach, or more drama, this is your new favorite. You're looking at a 32-grain, polymer-coated projectile, clocking in at a screaming 1,550 feet per second. That's well into .22 Magnum territory, but still fits in your standard rimfire platform. This load hits hard, flies flat, and delivers downrange energy with authority. You don't need to swap bolts or barrels, just load and send. The polymer coating isn't just for looks. That slick blue jacket cuts lead fouling by nearly 80%. If you're a high-volume shooter, or someone who dreads cleaning, this is a huge win. It also preserves barrel life and reduces lead splash when shooting steel, which is both safer and cleaner. This cartridge shines when you're pushing past 50 yards, dialing scopes, and watching friends miss targets due to drop and drift. The velocity makes for a flatter trajectory, tighter groups, and quicker follow-up shots. And CCI even designed the powder to reduce muzzle flash. No fireballs lighting up your position. There are trade-offs. The speed and pressure can be rough on older firearms, and the price is up there. Expect to pay around $11.99 per 50 rounds. But you get what you pay for. If you want your rimfire to run hot, stay clean, and shoot flat, Clean 22 hypervelocity is about as good as it gets. Now here's something we didn't know we needed until Remington made it happen. A .22 long rifle round, built specifically for revolvers. That's right, Remington Performance Wheel Gun 22 is tailor-made for your six-shooter. And let's be real, it's about time someone gave rimfire revolvers the respect they deserve. Most .22 long rifle ammo is tuned for semi-automatics. That means in snub-nose revolvers, especially with cylinder gap losses, you're often getting weak performance. Remington addressed that directly with this load. This cartridge launches a 40-grain lead round nose at 1,050 feet per second from a 4-inch barrel, right in the sweet spot for accuracy, recoil control, and noise reduction. The magic, though, is in the powder. It's a proprietary blend that burns efficiently in short barrels, improving consistency and energy delivery. Then, there's the positive strike rim, about 10% thicker than usual. That makes a big difference in wheel guns with lighter springs or older hammer systems, helping eliminate misfires. In testing, this ammo ran flawlessly for 500 rounds, even in revolvers that usually give light strikes. Remington also added a low-friction treatment to the brass to help with case extraction, especially handy in rimfire revolvers that lack full-length ejectors. And that green polymer ring around the case mouth, not just a style choice. It prevents bullet setback and instantly tells you this is revolver-specific ammo. Accuracy? Respectable. Not match grade, but perfectly dialed for backyard plinking, pest control, or speed shooting competitions. It also burns cleaner than average, keeping your cylinder gunk free longer. Price sits at around $8.99 per box. The only downside? Some speed loaders may not play nice with the thicker rim, and it's not meant for semi-autos. But if you run a rimfire revolver, this fills a niche that's been ignored for too long. If you're part of the crowd that still runs lever guns, like it's your religion, and let's be honest, a lot of us, our Federal, just dropped a rimfire load that'll speak straight to your old school shooter soul. Say hello to the Federal HammerDown chambered in .22 long rifle. It's the newest member of their HammerDown family, and finally brings rimfire rifles into the spotlight. Spoiler alert, it doesn't disappoint. This cartridge was purpose-built with lever and pump-action rifles in mind. Right out of the gate, you get a 40-grain flat-nose bullet, made entirely of solid copper, designed to feed safely in tubular magazines. That flat nose profile isn't just for looks, it prevents tip-to-primer contact in tube-fed mags, which helps avoid accidental ignition under recoil. It's the kind of engineering that keeps you safe without sacrificing performance. Now let's talk speed. Out of a 20-inch barrel, the HammerDown .22 long rifle clocks in at 1,260 feet per second. That's solidly in the standard velocity range, but still delivers respectable punch for pest control and small game. And thanks to the copper construction, this bullet begins to expand at speeds as low as 900 feet per second. So it's effective even if you're running a compact carbine or reaching out beyond 50 yards. What really adds finesse? The nickel-plated casing. These feed like butter, shrug off moisture, and are a whole lot easier to recover in the field. Federal even went the extra mile and printed drop data on the packaging, calibrated for iron-sighted lever rifles. That kind of attention to real-world detail is rare and appreciated. Environmentally safe, flawless cycling, and visually premium, this round checks all the boxes. It's priced at $13.99 for a box of 50, so it's not your everyday plinker. But if you're heading into the woods with a Henry, a classic Marlin, or a Winchester 94-22, this cartridge is exactly what you want, chambered up. It's a round built for hunters, not backyard blasting, and honestly, it performs like something twice the price. Now, let's flip over to the precision side of the rimfire world. If you're the shooter who tracks group size down to the hundredth and won't settle for anything less than minute of angle perfection, Norma's TAC 22 Subsonic is about to earn a permanent spot in your range bag. Norma's built its legacy in the centerfire world through absurdly tight quality control and match-grade consistency. Now they've channeled that same focus into the .22 long rifle space, delivering a 42-grain, lead-round nose bullet that flies at 990 feet per second. Quiet, absolutely. But what makes it shine is how ridiculously consistent it is. Norma fine-tunes every cartridge to within 2/10,000ths of an inch when it comes to bullet seating depth. That's no joke. Tighter tolerances equal tighter shot groups. And the bullets themselves are swagged using Norma's custom dies, which means uniformity from round to round is dead on. These aren't just subsonics, they're precision projectiles, designed for serious accuracy. That extra bullet weight pays off, too. At 42 grains, it carries momentum better than your typical 36 or 38 grain rimfire loads, while staying stable, even in standard 1 in 16 twist barrels. You don't need a custom bench rifle to make these sing. In our suppressed CZ 457 MTR, we printed sub-minute of angle groups at 50 yards all day long, with velocity spreads staying under 20 feet per second. That's not just good, that's match ammo territory. The powder they use burns clean and quiet, which your suppressor will thank you for. Even the packaging is dialed in. Each box has a sealed inner pouch to protect rounds from moisture, and there's a printed lot number you can use to track quality control data, something you usually only see with Olympic-grade ammunition. At $14.99 per box of 50, it's not cheap, but if you value silent precision, this is a no-brainer. Just don't expect it to run great in older guns with slower twist rates, or if you're not dialed in for drop. But if you're chasing cloverleaf groups through a suppressor, Norma TAC-22 Subsonic is as close to perfect as you'll find. We're going to finish this list with a no-frills, all-purpose load that just plain works. Remington Standard 5.22 long rifle. This round isn't about gimmicks or marketing buzzwords. It's the dependable, middle-of-the-road workhorse you can count on. And in 2025, it got a serious performance bump. Remington designed this round to function reliably across everything, from compact pistols to full-size rifles. It fires a 40-grain copper, plated round nose, bullet at 1,200 feet per second. That keeps it supersonic, out to around 75 yards, without being so fast it's going to beat up your gear or your suppressor. The secret sauce is in the powder blend. Remington developed a new formula that delivers consistent velocity, whether you're shooting from a 4-inch pistol or a 16-inch rifle. That means your point of impact stays predictable across multiple platforms, something even premium ammo often struggles with. They also dropped in their upgraded Surefire primer, which is built to fire reliably even in cold or damp conditions. Nickel-plated brass rounds out the package, boosting corrosion resistance and helping semi-auto cycle smoothly. Great if you're stockpiling or keeping a stash in your truck. Accuracy is solid, not match grade, but more than enough for tin cans, steel targets, or even putting rabbits in the pot. The copper plating helps reduce fouling during high-volume sessions. And as for recoil, come on. It's .22 long rifle. Your grandma could run a mag dump with a grin. Best part? Price. A box of 50 goes for just $6.99. And you can grab 525 round bulk packs in pour bottles that cut the price per shot even further. It's a killer value for what you get. Sure, it's not optimized for suppressors or long-distance work, and it won't win a precision rimfire match. But for everyday use, it's just about perfect. Remington Standard 5.22 long rifle is your all-around MVP for training, hunting, or just plinking away a Saturday afternoon. So there you go, 7 new .22 long rifle offerings, proving rimfire is alive and thriving in 2025. Whether you're fine-tuning tight groups with subsonics, hunting with purpose, built copper rounds, or ringing steel with fast flat shooters, there's never been a better time to be a rimfire enthusiast. Manufacturers are finally building ammo that fits the way we actually shoot suppressors. Lever guns, revolvers, and everything in between. These aren't just new loads, they're thoughtful upgrades designed to get more out of your favorite rimfire firearms. Which of these is going in your range bag? Let us know in the comments. And if this list opened your eyes to what .22 long rifle can really do, hit that like button and subscribe for more.